Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes are together and making their way to the final battle for hell. Having made their plan, everyone has been assigned a task. Quinny and Reginald will be searching for legal precedents, while Juniper, Moonhammer, Butthole, and Vex defend them against the combined forces of Manny's army. Will they live long enough to find a way to save hell, send Moonhammer home, and divorce Captain Planteer? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Stop me if you've heard this one, but two demons are sitting at the front desk of the One of Many Faces Citadel. And one of the demons, he turns to the other one and he says, "Hey, what's the only thing more boring than Mondays?" And the other one goes to say anything you have ever said to me, because he actually just hates this guy. They don't get along. When suddenly the doors explode, just throwing shrapnel in every direction, shredding both of them as the motherfucking dum-dums burst into the Citadel. You make your way very quickly through sort of the outer defenses, just kind of rapidly nuking the meager resistance you encounter. Again, most of Manny's forces are tied up, fighting Pork in the Dark. And as a result, you've got pretty good odds for getting in. Before you know it, you've made it to the... Shit, I can't remember what I called it now. The Hall of...
Record?
Yeah, it's the Hall of Record.
Hall of Active Records.
Thank you.
Active Records, yes.
You reach the Hall of Active Records. These doors, Quinny, immediately set off your thief senses. They are massive. They are kind of like... They've got a series of heavy metal bars running through the middle, but then there are thinner bars behind those, and they seem to shimmer. So you get the sense that there's something here. Now, you guys can obviously try and force these doors, or you can attempt to defuse them. What do you do?
I mean, the first line of defense, we don't need to risk ourselves exploding, trying to force our way through here, right? Can we just like do an Arcana check or something?
If I were to use my Eye of True Seeing, would that provide me any further insight to?
Yeah, absolutely would.
I'll do that then.
So you can see that it is a weave of different spells. The idea being that if you were to dispel one of them, the others would all trigger. So it is 3 spells that have been layered on top of each other. Your guess is that there is likely sort of a warding rune that will let you come and go, that unfortunately none of you have. The spell itself seems to expand beyond the door and kind of surround the entirety of the Hall of Active Record.
It's like a spell vault, essentially.
Yes, exactly right. So the doors are exposed, but you get the sense that this kind of patterned overlay exists inside the walls as well.
Tom, Reginald, to go back and check like the closest body. Does anybody they've killed have any of those runes that'll let people inside?
No, the frontline staff seem to just be that. Their only job is to deal with people coming in and out. Smart odds would say that Bucky and the Inner Circle likely have runes to be able to come and go, but similar to how a lot of sort of like large scale drug operations will like lock the people who process the cocaine in the room with the cocaine and the people who process the money in a room with the money, and ne'er the twain shall meet. The people who are in charge of Active Record are likely just trapped inside this massive cylindrical citadel in order to prevent exactly what you're about to try and do.
Mm-hmm. Can we see the rune of warding? Can we see where that rune is written?
So a rune would let you pass through it. This is not a runic trap. This is 3 active spells layered on top of each other.
I see.
What about the 3 keys that I've got? Would they be of any use?
You recognize, so Moonhammer, you do recognize this area, even though it's been transformed a bit. It no longer looks like your citadel, but you are sure your throne is in there, and your throne is the slot for the keys. Oh. You found them just under the seat. It's one of those like you flipped the seat up one day because you were curious, and you're like, "Well, shit, keyholes."
I have an idea, and it's going to be fun, but also kind of weird. Everyone get as far back as you can. Just as far back, but still within visibility of the door. So he'll Reginald will usher the whole party back and around the corner and safe. And then he'll just look to Vex and he'll meaningfully point at the door because he won a fireball from Vex in a bet at wherever he pointed. and he wants to try that door.
She kind of looks at you and she looks at the door. She looks back at you and then suddenly her eyes go wide and she realizes what you're saying. And that little grin appears again. She's like, wait, really?
Yeah, it's your time to shine. This is what
yeah, fireball! And she just throws a fireball at the spell weave. It hits and it's like a wave cascades around the sort of circular central area of the Hall of Record. The fireball itself seems to dissipate, but you see the whole thing rumbling and trembling as it seems to be processing the energy. Quinny, with your eye, you can see the spells have become wildly unstable.
Everybody step even further back when he just declares.
All right, yeah. Well, I'll take a jog, I think, away from the scene of the crime for a moment.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to try and just goose it a little further, and I'm just going to crack off an Eldritch Blast from even further back, almost from around a doorway. Just the hand comes up and fires an Eldritch Blast, and then comes back.
As the Eldritch Blast hits, the sort of rumbling stops, and you just kind of hear something powers down. And then there's just a fucking shockwave. It blows out all of the glass around you, just blows open doors. It just knocks Vex right the fuck over. But yes, there's a massive blast, and an alarm starts going off throughout the tower. But sure enough, those doors look pretty rough.
All right, combat team, get ready. A lot of people heard that.
Reginald, we knew this wasn't going to be subtle anyway, so good luck with the fight. We're going to go read books. Reginald's so happy to be running away from the active combat zone with Quinny.
All right, so I'm going to need so many initiatives.
For fight team, or also for Reginald?
Everybody, give me the whole kit and caboodle.
12.
It's going to ask you for who, Laura, but you're only one person now. Finally.
Yeah. This is nice.
Sorry, Alyssa, what did you say?
Sorry, which one is it?
Initiative is kind of mid-center sheet. I believe yours is +2.
Okay, which dice though?
Oh, D20, please.
Okay.
Reginald got a 2 because Reginald is still Reginald, no matter how much his new sort of brother likes him.
I got a 6.
Nice.
Okay, great.
And Butthole gets a 15.
Okay.
Quinny got 16.
Okay. I mean, that's actually not that many. I don't know if there were more.
Tom, you'll have to roll for a couple people, Sunscythe and Vex.
That's because I've got 2 people in me. I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that mean Laura gets advantage on initiative because maybe Sheriff Moss is thinking more quickly than Juniper?
No.
You get to go twice each round. Be overpowered as hell.
No, Sheriff Moss is level 1, I think. All the Old West characters had 1 level associated with them. So we're like, all right, let's do it. And then she just gets punched once and dies. And it's like, oh, no.
Oh, man. Interesting fact. Knowing Juniper is on Combat Squad, is Juniper going to battle as Juniper, or is it one of the other personas?
Juniper.
Cool.
It's Juniper. Juniper is... She's built for fighting.
I wasn't saying she wasn't. I just wanted to check. Maybe she was feeling, trolly. There's options.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had a long rest, so I can turn into someone if I want to. We'll see how it goes.
I like that a lot.
I wonder if Grandpa Warwick knows anything about contract law.
I was going to ask, so in terms of combat preparation, I feel like we know Moonhammer, but now Sunscythe has been introduced, and you guys have a history that's probably just coming back to you, Moonhammer. So, and is Bunny Hops here? He's not a combatant, whatever. How how does Moonhammer and Sunscythe? Do you have any like team poses you do, or is it like two people awkwardly flexing next to each other?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I just pictured like blades of glory, like
This seems appropriate. Yep.
like one I'm up or something, and he's like down.
Yeah. This tracks. This all.
So it's vaguely figure skating on
So
land is kind of what
it's
you
that-
guys do.
Super Sentai kind of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I love
fair
that.
enough.
Yeah, so Butthole now, just so you know, Moonhammer, because you haven't seen him. So he's in his golden Sunscythe armor. He's got Moonlight Bringer, the hammer that you know, but his shield is bonkers. It is like a large round shield made of metal, but hammered into all of its edges are T-Rex teeth that just stab outwards. So it can be thrown on a chain and like yanked back like Thor's hammer to be extra stabby on its own as well.
Okay. Cool.
Rock and roll. All right. First up, we've got Quinny.
Where am I headed there, Chief? I'm trying to get in and
Yeah,
find
we're going to
some-
the door.
find some
Great.
intel. Yeah.
So you guys burst in.
Yeah.
The doors are broken. You can see a number of what are clearly contract account managers. Just doing that like bank robbery thing where they're like strapping on tactical vests and grabbing weapons from nearby, slapping on helmets. They all kind of look like the guy from the cover of Battlegrounds, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So just like kind of improvised armor, but still hardy enough that kind of anyone could use it. And starting to like scramble towards the door. This is a massive cylindrical room. It is 5 layers high. In the center, there is a sort of a central pillar, atop which is Manny's throne. It is reachable by a sort of spiraled staircase that arcs all the way down. Currently, you can see there are 10 clerks sort of gearing up. And Quinny, as you rush into the room, looking up, you see a scroll that runs all the way to the bottom of this central pillar. And examining what seems to be the midpoint of this scroll is your old patron, the one of many faces. As King, his faces are now constantly shifting, but seemingly his entire body is as well. So even as he's holding it, his fingers take on different shapes, merge into sort of singular kind of Ninja Turtle fingers, re-separate. He's wearing a slightly too large crimson robe, and has a sort of think like the Iron Throne if it was a crown. It's like a multi-spiked golden crown, but it is constantly just sliding slightly as his head shape changes, and you can see him absently just kind of like readjusting it constantly in a vaguely frustrated way, as he reads. And as you burst in from atop his pillar, just says, "I don't know who the fuck you are, but I'm really in the middle of something. So I don't know if you're one of the archdukes or a lesser fiend or what you're doing, but can you just fuck off? We're very busy." And then his eyes kind of lock on you, Quinny.
Hey, boss.
Quinny Brownbarrow, hitman of hell. You've returned. How's my mom?
Oh, she's great. Terrific lady. She sent me here to kill you.
That's cute. Well, I suppose I can set aside work to greet an old friend. And suddenly he is grasping you by the throat. Go ahead and roll a dex save as he lifts you from the ground, choking you.
Nat 20.
Tell me how you get out of it.
I do a backflip. His hand closes around the air where I used to be, and I am now like 10 feet back from him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a ring wraith thing where like grasps at where you were with kind of a hiss of smoke. He's definitely got a bit of a James Woods Hades vibe going on right now, just in terms of the slightly too well adorned, kind of like rapid motions, but everything kind of has a hiss of smoke around it. And he says, "I see you've learned some new moves."
Yeah, couple.
Mm.
I take out Frostbrand or Frostbite. And I say I brought some friends too.
Oh, good. Me too. And as Reginald rushes in,
I got to paint a picture for Reginald because this was weird, Tom. So welcome to the weirdness. So Reginald rushes in, invisible. He put the ring on immediately. Also, Reginald took some drugs pre-combat, so no one can see this, but the warriors probably saw it going in. He snorted his 2 gems that he can snort. So he turned into his Hulk monster form, but he also has a gem that can make him smarter. So he's like a smart Hulk. So if Invisible Smart Hulk runs in.
I'm pretty sure that's what the comic books called him for a while. So yeah, Smart Hulk.
Yeah. He has small little glasses. He looks kind of like X-Men's Beast. Because there's a part of him that's more
he looks like nothing right now because he's invisible.
Yeah, invisible, but he has double disadvantage on charisma saves.
Does that mean you roll 3 or 4?
I don't. It's bad.
I don't know if double disadvantage exists in the books. We might fuck around.
We've
with
played
it.
with it before.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, you roll 3 and pick the worst.
Oh no. No, I'll just be smart. I lied. I wanted to do both, but I need to just be smart. I'm still used to new rules. So he looks from outside when the rest of the party saw him put his ring on, he just looks more British. British, and he slid on gold rimmed glasses. So he's invisible, but he's hoping he can do sneaky work while Quinny does punching now that he realizes this is a train wreck.
Cool. Okay, so you rush in. You see this King of Hell facing down Quinny. What do you do?
I would like to advance to the scroll and just leave Quinny by himself because somebody needs to figure out how to stop Manny from absorbing everything if he dies.
Yep, fair enough. So you're going to his big scroll, or are you going to the kind of so the multiple floors of this ringed cylinder are full of active contracts. So think of like those manuscript examination tables where it's up and there are notes all around it. So there are a bunch of active contracts. You're not sure what Manny's scroll is, but the information you need for your plan is in these sort of circular cubbies.
Cool. Then I think, he's just got to look at where he thinks the best odds are of finding what he needs and start looking. Like he's totally lasered in on finding the paper they need or whatever. Because everything's pretty clearly labeled in Manny's world. I don't know if you want to do an intelligence test for him to just be like where he thinks it to be or what you want to do.
No, everything is very clearly labeled. Again, the point is that no one comes in here unless they're supposed to be in here. And he's acting pretty chilled because he doesn't want to seem fussed in front of Quinny, but like, this is a pretty huge invasion of his privacy. Also, no one has made an attempt on him in an age. Like, because Moonhammer redirected everyone away. Like, he's just been kind of living large.
I think Reginald will be able to spot that energy. That's very Reginald energy as an evil commander.
Yeah, totally. Okay, great. So you're going to run over there. Once you do get over there, I will need an investigation check.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So I am actually going to break this up into team search party and team fight party. I thought I could run it all as the same thing. It just doesn't really make sense. Cool. All right. So Reginald, you ignore Quinny facing down Manny and run for the stacks.
Cool. I roll a 23 on intelligence.
All right, you can mark down
for investigation. Sorry.
Yep, you can mark down one success. You find a contract that explicitly states that it is, or sorry, rather, you don't find a contract. You find a bunch of paperwork around a contract that was not signed by Manny that he is clearly drawing energy from. That is looking for ways to justify why it's his. Even though it is not, giving you a little bit of ammo towards your end game. Cool.
I'm happy if this is not a thing you can answer. Do we know how many roughly successes we're aiming for pinwheel of contract law?
Based on my Google search of how to break a contract, there were 5 steps. You will need 5 successes.
Cool.
To peek behind the curtain.
And a peek at the law.
Yeah. Cool. Next up, Butthole. You see Quinny facing down Manny, the one who took Bucky from you and who took Quinny from you.
Okay, so team defense doesn't see anybody coming from the outside. So we've just got
no one's coming from the outside. There are a bunch of clerks gearing up that are like leaping down off the upper rings. So soon there will be 10 people on the ground with you.
All right, I think Butthole needs to free Quinny up to go so Quinny can go actually search for shit because we don't want Quinny getting caught up here. So Butthole will just yell, "For just one face, you dick!" And just like charge into combat. So he will come in swinging Moonlight Bringer at Manny.
Yep.
He will also use a bonus action to summon a spiritual hammer in a shocking twist of events from Butthole. Yay. When does he ever do that?
I've never listened to the show before, so I couldn't tell you.
So he'll cast a spiritual hammer at level 3, so that'll back him up while he's coming in swinging, and I think he'll just go with the regular attacks for now because he needs him distracted and injured but not dead. So he's pulling his punches a little bit, but man, he's so fucking scary. You can't like go in and try to do non-lethal, or you're just gonna fucking die. Alrighty. Is there advantage because Manny was going for Quinny? I'm imagining no, but wanted to check. Dope. All right, first swing. That is a 16.
No good.
Second swing. It's even worse. Let's not even say it. It's fine. That was just bad. And then the magical swing is a 27.
That will hit.
Yay! And that will do... Oh, double ones. Fuck me. That still does 11 radiant damage.
Okay.
So Butthole swinging twice. Manny dodges both, but then just a Moonhammer fist of radiant energy just pops him one in the spine. Just one of those like kidney shots. It's low and it's ugly.
Yeah, it hits him and he kind of like jolts forward a little bit, but doesn't seem to react.
Well, he's distracted.
Thanks, buddy.
Butthole says to himself in his head.
All right, which brings us to Manny. And he just kind of like looks to you, looks to Quinny and says like, "Can't believe Bucky would sacrifice himself for you two." Pathetic. And he's going to cast Cone of Cold and just kind of hose you both with some frosty shit.
I cast Counterspell.
All right, fair enough. Do I need to roll I don't have Counterspell in front of me. Do you have Counterspell in front of you?
I can in a second.
All right, I'll just look it up. Never mind.
Classic wizard fight. Both of them reading their books.
Fight.
Not sure how their spells work, but super dangerous
right.
when someone finds out they win. I have a feeling this is what wizard battles would be like in real life. Like, I think it'd be a lot of like frantically flipping through a spell book trying to use the right thing.
So if Cone of Cold is a 3rd level spell or lower, it just fails.
It is a 5th level spell.
Yeah. So then I need to roll. I need to roll to hit a DC. The DC is 10 plus the spell's level, so I need to make a 15.
15. Yep.
What kind of using my spellcasting ability? Okay. So that is.
So your odds are still pretty good.
Charisma. It's not great. We'll see. 15.
Is it?
I rolled a 5. So
it
that's not
gets chilly. All right. So I need con saves, please. As your armor and cloak respectively begin to turn to frost.
Net 20.
I got a 12 on my constitution.
Okay, 12 and 20. 1 sec. My spell is loading. Modern spell books suck.
Where are the rest of us, Tom?
You're still outside. You haven't entered.
We're still outside?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're outside
And
the enchanted doors.
What level Are we entering from the first level?
Entering from the first level.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just because for sake of all of our brains.
Cool. Just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, con save. All right. So that is going to be 8d8 damage. And Ryan, you can take half.
Cause net 20.
All right, so that is 11, 15, 27. Oh, 41.
I don't think Alan has ever rolled that well, unlike any of her fifth
that
or
is
sixth level
50
spells.
points of cold damage.
This is
25 to you, Ryan.
enraging.
Dope.
Cool.
It's chilly.
As Quinny, as you attempt to counterspell, you just have one of those horrible sensations of like the amount of times you've imagined having to go finally toe to toe with Manny, and having it just literally be proved to you the first time you attempt to actually fight back that exactly everything he told you is true is a real knock to your psyche. Can you please roll me an intelligence save?
Intelligence 12.
You're starting to doubt yourself. I'm going to give you disadvantage on your next skill check.
You know what? Losing 2/3 of my health also shook my confidence.
Yep, that'll do that. I mean, for Moonhammer, that's like a stiff breeze, but for you, that's like,
Yeah,
No.
it's okay.
All
I'm
right,
not,
is our
I'm not
audience.
dead down here. So when I die, I'll just show up again, I assume.
sure, champ, whatever you say. Great. So that was Manny's action. Yeah, that's all I think he's gonna do. Oh, never mind. I lied. I can make one weapon attack as a bonus action. So I'm going to swing it at old Quinny because you shouldn't have left me for my mom.
I was gonna say, Tom, if Quinny jumped 10 feet back, can he go after Quinny if Butthole charged him? Or does he have to fight Butthole who's swinging at him with a hammer?
Did we say so? Quinny succeeded in not getting grabbed. Tyler, did you have an action that took you 10 feet back, or did we just?
I just
Oh, it
said
was
10
just
feet
flavor.
is like a flavor thing. Yeah.
Got it.
So Manny closes distance.
That makes sense.
Goes for the swing. What is your AC, sir?
17.
17.
I used up my reaction for counterspell. So
Honestly, if it had worked, that was 100% the right play. So he will hit you, as he's like to do. And that is sorry, folks.
I hope you're apologizing for the damage, not just the time taken to roll correctly.
It's the time. All right, you're going to take 19 points of damage. Some of that is, I don't know if it'll matter. Some of it's slashing, the rest is...
none of it is going to be a
Okay,
factor
great.
unless it's fire, and that's it.
It is not. It's poison. Cool. So just like Cone of Colds you, and then just, Sub-Zero style forms an icy blade and just slashes you with it. It shatters as it happens. It's like half slashing, half just getting hit by the broad side of the blade, and you kind of stumble a bit as he hits you. It's a real like dick move, but he's Manny. Great. That will legitimately be the end of his turn, though. Bringing us to Juniper.
Is anyone is Butthole engaged with Manny?
Yes, he's close distance and attacked in melee.
So is Quinny.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Moonhammer is not yet.
Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is just like, I don't know. I feel like I need to like be more of a distraction. So I kind of just want to like rush in, kind of like yelling and start like floating slowly up the stairs if I can.
Sure, up the central pillar.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Just
so-
like, come here, fucker. I don't know.
But to me? Oh, I'm
No,
not sure. I'm
not
going to
to
get there
you.
next.
I
Are
will
you
Manny.
yelling
that-
after the 10 people storming, putting on their armor, or Manny, who's currently engaged in combat with 2 people?
Oh, I forgot about the people with armor. Sorry, guys, it's late.
Okay.
Where are the people with armor?
The people with armor are still on their respective floors, getting armed up. They will be jumping down at the end of this turn.
Where are they? Where are they,
Do I
McGee?
get a sense of where they? Can I get a sense of where they are at all?
There's a few of them on each floor, Laura. They're just kind of spread throughout the facility,
Yeah.
stacking up to jump down and kick ass.
Yeah, so it's a massive cylindrical
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
There are 5 floors. There are a bunch of them on each floor. I have not determined how many are on each floor because they're all about to jump down. None of them were ever going to stay there, so I do not have specific placement for them.
No, that's
We need
fair.
specific placement
Okay.
for them. There are 10, so we can say there are 2 on every floor.
So I think everyone's clear of the stairs, right?
Reginald, I think, is reading
She
the
can't
scroll.
see Reginald. He's
Oh,
invisible.
that's
So,
right.
yes, Laura, they're completely clear.
I'm just trying to think of. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I'm just really scared.
Don't be.
So I think actually what I will do, I want to get a sense of where everyone is. So I think I want to use divine sense.
Okay. What does
To
Divine Sense
just
do?
it basically opens my awareness to detect presence or forces of strong evil, and until the next turn, I can know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me that is not behind total cover. So I'm like, if anyone's like about to rush in, I will know where they are.
Okay, great.
Because I would like to moonbeam the shit out of people,
Understood.
but without being able to see them. I'm
Yeah.
like, eh.
So you get kind of that classic like night vision thermal sensing. You
Mhm.
can see where all of the various clerks are as they gear up. Perhaps more concerningly, though, you can see a large mass approaching the sort of domed ceiling of the of this sort of throne room. There's one of those classic like Batman breaks through it all the time glass domes, and you can see a dark shape rapidly approaching it.
That is new information.
That only she can see because she's
Yeah.
using her fiend vision.
Okay, so I'm just gonna relay this to everyone behind me, being like, big thing approaching, big thing approaching. I think we may be outnumbered.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, maybe you could get your sword out and try hitting Manny. As I'm like freezing and Quinny's getting stabbed.
I'll do that in the next 6 seconds.
That sounds
I
quite
always
rough
appreciate-
when you say it out loud.
I always
Yeah, right?
appreciate a timeline from my head, see Sheriff.
All right. Next up, we've got Vex, who, oh baby, does Vex want to throw a fireball at Manny? But she's learning. So instead, she is going to. There are stairwells up the sides of this thing, and then there's the central column. So the central column is detached. It's just where Manny's throne is. It's just a big old fucking like. I don't know. I'm feeling insecure, so I built myself a giant phallic tower to sit upon, kind of situation. Whereas the exterior rings have like a bunch of staircases leading up, because again, this is a functional sort of archival room. So she's going to start running for one of those, just with like eyes on the prize for the people upstairs. And you can see just the fire already. Like she's carrying the sword, but she's like a sorcerer. She's not really going to use it. She just has it. So she's just like kind of running with her hand beginning to sort of fan out some flames, and you get the sense that next turn she'll be able to open fire on the goons. Moonhammer, you're up. So currently looking into this large cylindrical room, you've got the one of many faces, the god who murdered you and usurped your throne, just raining hell down on Quinny. You've got Butthole engaging in combat, trying to keep Quinny alive. You don't see Reginald anywhere, but I also don't know that you really care about Reginald. That's like you could take him or leave him. It doesn't really matter at this point. Sunscythe is with you in the hallway. Juniper is currently rushing towards the central column. What do you do?
I'm gonna go after. Yeah, I'm gonna go after Manny.
Cool. I think if I may make a suggestion, raging might be on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Yeah. So you fly into a rage. As you do, you let out like a tiny enraged fart, and as you do, Sunscythe just catches it on the flaming edge of one of his blades and sweeps it up over your head, giving you golden fire hair. Because he and then just kind of winks at you like it's a fun thing you guys used to do. And then you rush in, swinging your hammers, yelling a mighty battle cry. Go ahead and roll your 2 attacks, please, with advantage. So roll 2d20. Roll a d20. Roll 2d20 twice. Pick the best on both. So let's start with 1 attack. So roll 2d20. Pick the best one, and we'll add 9.
Okay, 29.
That'll hit Manny. And then go ahead and roll your damage. It's 1d12 plus 5. Oh, plus 8.
Plus 8, 17.
Very nice. Sound hit. So yeah, you just crack him in the back of the head, and suddenly like the smugness, like the face just like twitches and glitches into one of like disappointment and like little kid hurt, like just kind of like a whoa. As he turns and he just says, "Didn't I already kill you?"
I'm just gonna turn around. Can I turn around and like fart in his face?
I'll allow that as a free action. You don't need to roll for it.
Yeah, you did.
He's like, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Why do all of you have fart powers?"
Suck on my stench tube, douche.
Don't want to.
I love her so much. Best god ever. Best god ever. Best god ever.
Alyssa, go ahead with your second attack. Roll 2d20. Pick the best and add 9. Blah.
How could anyone not worship this woman?
23.
That'll hit. So d12 plus 8.
I wish she'd worn me as a hat. These are all thoughts Butthole is having as this adventure continues.
Sorry, 15.
15? Okay. Very good. Putting a dent in old Manny. So yeah, then you just crank him in the face with a hammer. I mean, I feel like Moonhammer's powers in a lot of ways are kind of like Rip Torn throwing wrenches at people in dodgeball. Like, I just never get tired of like snarky line hit with something heavy. It's always very funny to me. So yeah, he staggers back a step, just kind of like working his jaw and just like looking just generally confused about what the unholy fuck just happened to him. Which brings us to the soldiers, who we're going to say 8 of them leap down. 2 of them stay to fight Vex on the first floor, or second floor, because you're on the first floor. Unfortunately, there was also a sound of shattering glass. And above you, you just hear, "I'm back, motherfuckers!" And rappelling from the sky is a small blue naked man with a chainsaw in each hand. And Yevgenovich enters the fray, followed more reasonably by Bucky and the 2 other inner circle guards. They're all clearly using the effects of Featherfall. So they're like drifting down. So Yevgenovich is like screaming like a berserker, but he's also just like gently drifting like a feather,
floating,
just like revving his chainsaws and yelling like, "Protect Lord Xehanort! Protect him!" And
like the Kingdom Hearts guy. You said Xehanort.
Oh shit! Yeah, I did. It's that's all I've got in my head now.
Is it the Lord of Many Faces, or is it like the Zvart? Like...
Yeah, it's the Zvart guy sounds like Xehanort. I will. Yeah. Also the Kingdom Hearts guy. He's also really into that.
Okay.
But like good Xehanort from like the second one where we find out that maybe he would. But I mean, also perhaps if you played Chain of Memories, you'd understand. But like in 385 over 5 days, and he's just like listing off the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts. The whole Kingdom Hearts thing all the way down. He's the only one who understands what the fuck. Raxavort. There we go.
Raxavort.
He's like, protect Raxavort.
That's really, really similar. Yeah.
For a name I haven't had to say in 3 years, it surely is. So anyway, he lists off all of Kingdom Hearts as he falls, and he's like, and the gunmanship system was flawed, but it kind of gave it character, and I miss it. But he's still falling, so he has enough time to talk through all the Kingdom Hearts games. But the rest of them are coming in behind him as well. So Manny's hit squad has arrived. But Butthole, you kind of look up, and while everyone else is kind of like panicked about these new combatants entering, you see your old pal Bucky, and his eyes light up as he sees you, and he just like gives you a wave, and then like looks around and then like gives you the finger, but then also kind of shrugs an apology.
And I give him the finger and a thumbs up at the same time with my shield hand, so you can like see both.
And he slowly extends his thumb and realizes it's possible to do that. And it's just like another lesson you've taught him. You know, you're just always helping. Right. So they've entered the fray. Sunscythe comes rushing in after Moonhammer. And is just sees kind of the situation going down. And he just yells kind of into the void. Okay, Reginald, I think they've got the fighting down, but it looks like no one's reading books. What books do I read? Point me to some books.
But Reginald just like pulls off his ring and points. It's just like an old British man pointing to it.
Yeah. And he turns and starts to run. And like leaps using his kind of like god leaping. Hooks his scythe on the first floor, and then kind of like rockets up to the second balcony, climbs up there, only to confront the drifting Yevgenovich, who kind of drops into a fighting stance. And it's just a classic anime fight of like guy with 2 chainsaws versus guy with a sickle and a scythe. They both just kind of look at each other, and Sunscythe's like, I don't know who you are, but I think I have to kill you. And Yevgenovich is just like, I'm Yevgenovich, and you stay away from my Xehanort. And they fly at each other in Mortal Kombat. No. Yevgenovich is better with chainsaws than Sunscythe is with his hands. So he slashes just like quick strikes across Sunscythe's like torso, like one across the ribs, and then kind of one across the upper shoulder. And Sunscythe just kind of stumbles back, be like, ow, oh, fuck, I forgot what pain was. Oh, God, I've been in a weapon for so long. Oh, no. Oh. And he looks down, and it's just sheared. Like the chainsaw has just like carved like pretty much to the bone. It's like carved through his armor. And he just looks down, and he kind of his gaze grows cold, and he just like looks inside the armor a little bit, and he's like, this is my favorite binder, you son of a bitch! And suddenly he gains a massive glowing, like his beard turns to fire, and his scythe and sickle like light up. And he just like leaps through the air, and there's kind of like a classic like end of action sequence freeze frame of him just over top of Yevgenovich raising 2 chainsaws.
To be continued kind of thing.
To be continued.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter, our special guest, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons logo is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAH all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, Charles Grams, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lord of Bradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, Chet Awesome Laser, Jordan Neesmith, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Taryn Hefner, Cade Peters, Richard Cranium, Christian Mendez, Anna Zed, Eric Williams, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Great Dane, Acrix, Cameron Ezel, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.